Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Michael and welcome back to another debt update for the month of April this time. And we are going to be looking at how it's going with paying off my $140,000 worth of student loan debt. We are definitely no longer at that $140,000 worth of student loan debt, thankfully. We are now down to around $71,000. As I explained in my last debt payoff video, what I'm doing currently, because my government loans are in deferment, what I am doing is I'm saving for my student loans, meaning each month I'm making payments, but I'm basically putting those payments into a high interest savings fund. And also, as I described last time, I'm doing what I call a savings sprint, where I'm using the next 5 months to try to save up as much money as possible. So far, my goal is to have $15,000 saved up towards my government student loans by the time the deferment ends, supposedly beginning of September 2022. This month has been a great month for debt payoff because of a few different reasons. Number one, April's one of those months where if you get paid on Fridays and every other week like me, it's one of those months where you end up getting 3 paychecks, a whole extra paycheck than probably what you're used to. And also the second reason for me is that this month I had a nice sizable check for my side hustle income, which of course is always a good thing when your side hustle starts to increase in its revenue that it provides you each month. What we're gonna do next is we are gonna go ahead and take a look at my Google Sheets spreadsheet that I use to track my debt payoff journey. I have updated a little bit, so you're gonna see some of those updates in just a second, but you guys tell me what you think of it. Leave some comments down below. Okay, so here is my debt payoff spreadsheet. Just to point out some new things that I've added, obviously this whole column right here that I've listed as payments saved, that's an entirely new section to the spreadsheet. As I described earlier, I'm not actively paying off my student loans, meaning I'm not sending money to the student loan debt account each month. Instead, what I'm doing is making payments into a savings fund account in Ally Savings Bank, which is a high interest savings bank online. And the reason I'm doing that is because I will gain a little bit of extra interest from doing that rather than just continuing to pay them into the loan account, which will not give me any interest. And also, if for whatever reason loans were to be reduced or canceled, I don't see that happening, but if for whatever reason they were, at least I hadn't already paid them off. Anyway, that's my thinking. I know it might be a little irrational, but that's why you see this first column up here that says payments saved. The second new thing that I've added here, other than just kind of reorganizing some things, is this pie chart down here. And I don't know how I feel about the colors right now. These colors are actually my alma mater because I went to Utica College, and that's their colors for things. I think it still is. I don't even think it's called a Utica College anymore. I think it's a university or something. But anyway, as you guys can see, there are 2 sections to this graph. The blue color, that's the good color. I titled that being debt free. So the more blue we see on this pie, what's called a blueberry pie, the better. And then the orange, this is my current student loan debt. So as my student loan debt, the government loans, as they dwindle down, you're gonna see the orange disappear and more blue appear, which obviously is moving towards being debt-free, which I know isn't entirely true because I still do have a mortgage, but I consider my student loan debt a bad debt, so I want to get rid of it. So I've wired this spreadsheet, that's probably not the right word, I've set up this spreadsheet so that when I input information here about how much I'm saving, it's going to show in the deduction what it would be if I were to take that payment and actively pay off my student loans. So I already made a video earlier this month where I transferred $1,500 to my savings fund for paying off my student loans. But what I did was I took the $71,407.15 and I have set it up so that it's going to pull from here how much is saved and show it in the deduction. So if I were to take that $1,500 and put it towards it, my government loans, this is what it would be. So this is kind of the number right here that you're gonna be looking at. Maybe I'll switch things around, but right here, whoops, right there is where your attention should be today. So the next question that this all begs is, of course, how much more have I contributed this month to my student loans? And as you guys may have remembered, I'm currently on a mission to pay $3,000 every month from now until September towards my student loans. That should equal around $15,000. And at the time of filming this video, I have been able to do that for the month of April. I was able to contribute another $1,500 to my savings this month in the month of April. Rather, I guess, easily, because once again, April is one of those months you get an extra paycheck. So it's a little bit easier to contribute extra this month. So this month in total, we have contributed $3,000 towards my government student loans, so to speak. They're in a savings fund, but that's okay. So as you can see, the deduction, the total, I should call this now total figurative loan, the projected, I don't know. Someone come up with a better title for that. I don't like deduction. That's the wrong word. But I'm not going to change it right now. If you guys have any suggestions of what I should call this column, be sure to leave it in the comment section below. But now you guys can see that we are down to $68,407.15. And that's if I were to take this $3,000 that I've saved this month and just flat out contribute it towards my government student loans, which I'm not doing because they're in a savings fund. The other thing to point out that's interesting is you probably didn't see too much movement down here in the pie graph here. But the blue side of the pie, the blueberry pie, got a little bigger. In fact, it is now outweighing by just a hair how much debt I actually have in terms of my student loan debt. Because now student loan debt is listed as 49.9%, but being debt free, I am just over halfway there, because now I'm at 50.1% of being student loan debt free. The last thing I need to do, just want to make sure the camera is still rolling, is that I need to place this number down here, because that's what I'm going to do. That will complete this chart, 407.15. And oops, it didn't show up as a dollar sign, as it never does. You guys know that by now. It's not going to work. And let's make sure the formula continues on. And voila, perfect. A $3,000 month change, a $3,000 reduction to my student loans. This total change needs to now be reflected by going down to the 23rd row. Boom! Total change of $36,481.85 since the creation of these types of videos. That's not from the creation of when I started with my student loan debt. That number would be much higher. In fact, I have that number. That number, if we were to look at the total amount of debt that I paid off so far, that doesn't include the $3,000 that I just contributed. That was $69,986 towards my entire student loan debt payoff journey since, I guess, August or October of 2018. And so we'll see what we're at by that time, and if they come back online, if they start becoming due again, I'm just going to take the amount of money that I've saved up so far, which right now is only $3,000. Hopefully it'll be $15,000. I'll take that money and throw it right to the government student loans, and I'll probably try to figure out which one of the federal loans that I have up here, because right now they're both at 0%. I will try to figure out which one is going to be a higher interest rate. Unfortunately, the way the government loan site that I took my loans from, the way it works is that the statements only reflect going back 1 year, and because I haven't had any debt payoff statements and they've been over 0% now for over a year, I can't go back and look at what those interest rates were. I think one time I tried to figure out what it would be, and it was right anywhere between 4 to 5% interest rate. So basically, I'll just figure out which one of my two federal loans has the highest interest, and before the loans come back online, and when we know they're actually going to come back online, I will just shove that money right down that one's throat and feed it, because it's really hungry right now at $71,000. That's the plan. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this April update to my student loan debt payoff journey. This whole thing is a journey. It's a process, and it's moments like this where you really need to find satisfaction in the process itself, because when you look at that number, that $71,000, it can get very discouraging. And so the take on this, my mindset is that I'm making progress, so that's a good thing. I'm not looking at this like, wow, that's a huge tunnel. I can't see the light at the end of it. What I am seeing though is that I've been able to contribute $3,000 this month, which is a big win for me. So thank you guys for watching. Leave comments down below of how is it going with your student loan debt payoff journey if you have one. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.